Right now from inside, Republican Representative Dennis Ross from Florida, Democratic Representative Hanson Clark from Michigan. Gentlemen, nice to have you back with us. These shutdowns, great. Guys, we want to show our viewers kind of what happened in the past. In 95 and 96, these shutdowns stalled nearly $4.5 billion in Washington area government contracts. Toxic waste cleanups stopped at 609 Superfund sites. 2,700 workers were laid off, and all national parks were closed. That cost $14 million a day in lost admission fees, revenue to contractors and vendors. What specifically, guys, would you cut from the budget to get it passed and prevent the shutdown? Congressman Ross, to you first.
Thank you. Well, there's several things that we could cut. I mean, for example, we've got to look at some of the implementation of regulations by EPA and other regulatory agencies that are burdening us tremendously. The new numeric nutrient water quality criteria in Florida, for example, which is based on junk science. And when we ran an amendment on the House Resolution 1 to withhold that, that would save billions of dollars. You know, continuing to freeze the federal payroll, but do it so that we really freeze the federal payroll, which means that we freeze those 3% step increases that 99.4% of all federal employees have been given. That would save us billions of dollars. There are several ways we can do this and avoid a government shutdown.
Congressman Clark, same question.
First of all, there are just billions of dollars of inefficiencies and duplications that our Government Accountability Office has identified where we could eliminate and save a lot of money, but yet not hinder the effectiveness of government. That's what we need to look at first. But it's so important that we look at the overall budget, how we spend and how we actually raise our money. I mean, the problem that we got into right now started many years ago. 10 years ago, we started the dramatic overspending that created this huge debt. So we do need to reduce the debt, but we need to do it in a long-term responsible way so we don't continue to borrow money from other countries like China.
Okay.
But the way to,
okay. Congressman Clark, you didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question, but here, let me give you a couple of ideas. And these are things that were cut during the initial continuing resolution, keeping the government going. Simple things. These were cuts. I want to get your reaction, Congressman Clark, to this, because I know you want to see spending continue and basically increase in Detroit. We had planned IT projects, the Social Security Administration.
I don't want spending.
You gave a speech. You gave a speech on the House floor that you want. You gave a speech on the House floor at the end of the month asking for more spending on education. You didn't offer cuts. You wanted more spending. Why?
When I said it's not we need more spending on education, we need to make sure that the money that is being spent is being accountable for good results. We can't continue to fund education and have kids drop out of school or graduate from school and not being able to read. So I'm in favor of always attaching strings to all the tax dollars that are spent to make sure our young people are getting the best education possible. It's not just money, it's how we spend it, and it's being accountable for good results. See, the reason why we have a federal budget is to make sure our families are safe and secure. That means financially secure. The way that tuition rates are going up right now, we shouldn't cut back on financial aid because we want to make sure we're competitive with workers all around the world who are getting the education to get the jobs that are already here in the U.S. and take them overseas. We don't want that to happen. Also, the biggest driver to our debt and deficit is increased health care costs. This is not the time to close health clinics down. We want to keep people healthy so they don't get sick and increase our debt and deficit. We have to be responsible looking at the overall budget, the overall priorities.
Okay, let me take this to Congressman Ross then. I want to stay on these examples, okay? I'll take this to Congressman Ross. You give me your opinion on where we can cut, not spend, but actually start to cut. IT projects of the Social Security Administration, those are things that have either been stalled or are going to be canceled this year under the CRs. Travel is being cut back at many government agencies, not defense, but just non-essential travel. We live in the world of Skype, guys. And also some hiring freezes, positions not being filled. Congressman Ross, those are specific examples under the CR. Why can't we make these permanent solutions?
Well, we can make them permanent solutions, and we tried to make these solutions at least through the rest of this budget year when we passed H.R. 1 back in February. Unfortunately, as you know, even though it cut over $100 billion and would have kept government running and running efficiently, it was lost in the Senate, and in fact, it was denied in the Senate. You know, we can make these permanent. Our big battle looms ahead of us. Today, as you know, we got the 2012 budget released. That's the one where we're not cutting billions, we're cutting trillions.
All right. Well, Congressman Clark and Congressman Ross and Congressman Clark to you. I mean, I understand that you want to keep spending on math and science and firefighters, and I do feel for the people of Detroit. I just want you to know that, Congressman Clark.
Thank you very much.
All right.
We have to be responsible. This budget is here to help people, not hurt them. But we do need to quit borrowing money from China and other foreign countries. Let's get on a responsible path to reduce our overall debt, and we can do that responsibly by working together. Representative Ross and I are committed to doing that.
And you two do have a good relationship, and I do want
Yes,
our viewers to remind you of that. You do have a nice working relationship, and that's why we had you on together. Congressman Ross of Florida, Congressman Hanson Clark of Michigan. Gentlemen, thanks to both of you. Well, if the government shuts down, not only might you have a problem getting a passport, you will be able to